All right. Good morning. Good morning. What do we got today? Wednesday, I can't see my watch that well. 27th, August 27th. Crazy. Mm, coffee's good today. How you guys doing? Scale of 1 to 10. Pop it in the chat. See who's doing what. What's happening? What's going on? How was yesterday? Felt like a Monday to me, but it was really a Tuesday. Just getting back and getting in the groove. Busy day. Man, I ended up on the phone most of the day, or phone or Zoom most of the day yesterday. It was kind of crazy. I hadn't really planned on that, but that's just kind of the way it went. So sometimes it goes that way. There's only so many hours in a day. I was like 7:30, 8 o'clock last night before I finally shut it down, and said, "Well, we'll pick it up again tomorrow." But anyway, that's why they call it a paid vacation, right? You pay for it when you get back. Mike Nunez from Nunez Management, Vineyard Management. Good to see you. Good to see you, Wendy. Long time. What's up, Pops? How are you? Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, hitting the coffee pretty good this morning. Jump start. Yep. Bill Gustafson coming in at a 9.5. Not a 9, not a 10. 9.5. Roy at an 8. There was that time Roy said he was a 10 when he was traveling and his wife was watching. Whoops. Roy, I got to find a nice place for the sign that you got for us. Right now, it still lives behind me. I appreciate that, brother. Wendy went on a quest to get her all the paperwork done for the name change yesterday, and she came back a little frustrated, but it's a process. She said, "This is the last time I'm ever doing that." I said, "You're damn right it is." Good morning, Richard Nordheim, Captain Bob. Yeah. Dave Howard, how are you, bud? Good to see you. Josh Baker. Wait a minute. You're not hitting the replay. This is live, not Memorex. I'm dating myself when I say that. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Good to see you. What is happening? Yeah, we got a little got a walk in yesterday. I think I'm going to add the weighted vest today and put a little effort to it, so that way could burn more chub, you know. So good to see you guys this morning. Get out and do that. We're going to try to get some regularity set with that, and that's really not going to be the workout for the day. It'll just be something that's a regular cadence, no pun intended, where we're just doing that. Great way to connect. Make sure before the day gets blasting out ahead of us, that we can do that. So, and I brought a big thing of water yesterday, about 4 feet tall, and I said I'm going to drink this whole thing. Wendy has no problem with that, but for some reason I have a hard time getting a lot of water in. It was very hard for me on 75 hard to. The workouts are no problem, but the gallon of water, I was hitting the bathroom all the time. So good morning, Catherine Thomas. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah. A lot of good stuff going on. Had a lot of great conversations yesterday about the Rosenberg Group and the Mach 5 event coming up. So that's why it was so busy. I had a couple of calls on that. So yeah. Good morning, AM. Good morning, Mrs. Turner. Yeah, she's talking to you, Wendy. Richard's headed out for a 4-miler in the cooler weather. Yeah, Richard, I saw a picture of you. You're looking lean, brother. Saw a picture of you with your grandchild. That was cool. I'm sure those days are ahead of me, but maybe not quite yet. So George Ross is here. Good to see you. Yeah. What's happening, guys? Pop in the chat. How you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? Or what you've had for a win so far this week. Share it with the group. Yeah. Steve Rosenberg's here. Good morning from Montana. I think I'm becoming a pro fly fisherman now. Yeah. You know where they put the guy that can't fish, don't you? In the front of the boat so they can keep their eye on him. Oh shit. That looked like fun. You guys just kind of floating, like fly fishing and floating river stuff. That was pretty cool. That looked like a rainbow that you guys got yesterday, but good stuff. Now I'll really believe that you're well-rounded if we can get you out on the golf course and you don't slice it straight into the woods like me. Oh, shit. Yeah. What's going on, guys? Good to see you all. How are you this morning? Pop in and, we'll wait for people to show up here a little bit before we get into some, talk about how you show up in conversations today. See what's happening. A lot of good people on here. Let me just get this out. Yeah. So I'll be handling the daily sales accelerator call today on the Rosenberg group, as well as the weekly group coaching call, where we're going to talk about increasing and improving the employee experience. So, the customer experience. We don't care about those employees. Go 1099, everybody. Yeah. Be back in Maine on Monday. Yeah. I don't know. Maine's going to feel that one. Show up, kick the door down, let them remember you. Absolutely. So, guys, let's talk about presence in conversations a little bit. It's day 3 of our series on the power of presence. And I want to talk about listening versus waiting to talk. Ever been guilty of that, right? How many times have you, hey, Mark Bunker, have you been in a conversation where you weren't really listening? Everybody knows it. And you're like, oh shit, what did they just say? You were just kind of waiting for your turn to jump in, or you were kind of drifting away, not being engaged, right? Most people don't listen. Okay. Speaking of talking a lot, look who just showed up.
I'm an official fisherman now, so I think you have to call me Captain.
Yeah, Captain Steve. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and funny, they did put me at the front of the boat, and that is where I fell off my seat during a rapid. So
yeah. Is that kind of fishing where you're just kind of floating down the river and they're guiding you and you're just kind of hitting the spots? That's awesome. Good times.
Yeah, we floated about 11 miles yesterday.
Wow. Wendy and I did that on last week, but we had to paddle in a kayak.
We paid someone a lot of money to do the paddling for us, basically, is what we did.
Yeah, that's good.
And to untangle our lines. That was the other thing he did a lot of.
Well, we won't tell anybody. You probably had to take the fish off your hook, too.
Well, that's a given. That's what we pay for. They're so sticky, dirty.
So sticky and dirty, yeah. Well, that's good. All catch and release?
I'll catch and release, yeah.
Nice. Where in Montana are you?
Missoula.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Beautiful. It's beautiful up here, man.
Yeah, that's good. It's good you're taking the time to do that. I was hammering you yesterday with a couple of texts, and I'm like, wait a minute. He didn't hammer me last week with texts. What am I doing here?
Fine. It's fine.
It's all good. Yeah. Well, hey, jump in on this. We're talking about presence in conversations. I mean, you have a ton of conversations. And we joke a lot, but you like to talk. No secret there, right? Because you're passionate. You got a lot to say. How do you reel it in, and say, okay, I gotta listen to this person and make sure I'm hearing them versus waiting to say my next thing.
Yeah, it's funny. There's so many people that they either talk to listen and to get information, or they talk, or they listen so they can get knowledge.
Yeah.
Or they listen just so that they can talk, and they're waiting. Yeah. They're just waiting to reply. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed the people that are the best communicators that I've learned from, they always pause and they let it sink in for like a Mississippi count after someone talks.
Right.
And I always notice that the ones that do, you say something, and I'm always a full throttle talkative person, and they'll sit there and they'll say, understood, or they'll say, I hear you. And I don't know if that's a trigger to them to actually hear what I'm saying, but if you ever listen to someone who's a good communicator, they'll say, okay, got it, understood, I hear you. Just something that maybe they're triggers to them, and they're acknowledging, and maybe it's a way to respond to what you were talking about, not what I wanted to tell you. Does that make sense?
Understood.
See? Good job. You're learning.
No, one of the things I was going to share today, or that I ain't going to share right now, is that it was farther down in my notes, but the timing's right, is that a great strategy for that is actually saying a little bit of what they said back to them in your own words. And so that, and and watch the energy change when you do that. Instead of just firing into your point, or your maybe it's an argument, maybe you're trying to make a point, or maybe it's a sales thing. We talk a lot about sales. Or maybe it's just a conversation with your spouse, right? And if you respond with, okay, so what I'm hearing is, right? So you were saying da 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 da, boom, and then so watch the energy change with somebody where they're just kind of disengaged because now you're talking. All of a sudden, now they're like, wow, he actually listened. They actually heard me, right?
Yeah. Well, what it is I understood.
This is fun.
What it is what's called mirror and matching. And so when you
Yeah.
mirror and match or pace someone, if you, let's say, for example, you have a client and that client, or you're talking to someone and they say, man, I just can't afford it right now. It's too much money.
Mm,
Most of the time we're trying to come up with a rebuttal as quickly as we can, like almost like a snake, fire it back
right.
at them.
Yeah.
But if you actually mirror them, and we like people that are like us. So if you and I are the same, if you are talking to me in the same tone and the same disc, and you say all these objections as to why you can't do this,
Mm,
if I mirror it back to you, that is repeating what you said. So if you're like, so you're, what I'm hearing is that you can't afford it because of this, and this. You just mirrored them and you basically acknowledged them. And
yeah.
I am like you. So we're in what's called, we're pacing each other. So we're kind of in sync.
Right.
And when we're in sync, if I am like you and you just agreed with what you just said, we are now mirroring each other. And if we're the same, if we're in sync with each other, the next thing I say, you're probably going to agree with now.
Mm,
So, and once I let you say once I agree with you on the rebuttal, like so you don't have money to start the repairs. Tell me a little bit more about that. And now you just let the air out of their fight, and now they're going to explain, because that was the emotional reaction, right?
yeah.
Because nobody ever plans to have their roof collapse, or they don't plan to do these things.
Right.
But once they say it and you're in mirroring them, and we're in psychological tandem, I will say,
Yeah.
that is what gets them to get along. Does that make sense? I'm kind of rambling here, but does that make sense?
Yeah. So I think what I hear you saying is
Very good.
it's hard because like when you were just doing that, I was thinking, oh, I want to tell him about yesterday's DSA when I was talking about Tony and closing and how he gets excited to get to that point in the call when there's an objection, right? But he's a master at that because he listens, right? He's a very good listener.
Well, I'll tell you one even more, and I think I for the behind the scenes stuff that people don't hear, like I get, as you know, I get coached, and I send you and Bubba
Yeah.
and Richard the recordings of my coaching calls
Yeah.
with Eli Wild, and this guy, he was the #1 closer for Tony Robbins. I mean, he closed $12 million, $12.7 million in 1 hour for
Mm,
Tony. He speaks all over. He's at a big Tom Ferry event right now. He's the guy that goes in and does the repitches, and the things that he's teaching me, which is some of the stuff he's going to be teaching at Mach 5. I asked him, I said, "Is this what you're going to be talking about?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wow, it's amazing the psychology that." It's kind of like a black belt fighting a white belt sometimes
right.
if your customers don't
Yeah.
understand. And he's like, it has nothing to do with what someone wants or doesn't want when they pick up that phone to call you. Once they pick up that phone to call you or they click that link, it's a total different, um, not vibe, but there's a different scenario, if that makes sense. And so you've heard some of the conversations, and I'm just like,
Mm,
wow, like I don't even know. Like it's like a river of information coming at me, right? And I'm pretty
yeah.
advanced when it comes to the linguistics of it. But this guy, he makes it sound so simple. And he's like, yeah, you do this. And he's just flowing. Like it just comes off of his mouth. Like anything we talk about, I'm like, wow, this is amazing how good this guy is.
Talking to an expert, right? Somebody that's completely comfortable in their field, and it's not a show. It's just him pouring into you. I mean, some of those phone calls you send me they're not a half hour.
No,
You guys spend some time.
yeah, it's like an hour, hour and a half, and Tony's the same, right? Tony's going to be there with the showing how to do a one conversation close. All these guys, but it's really amazing listening to guys. You know, it's just like if somebody were to hammer a nail, and you're like, it's just hammering a nail. But if someone's never used a hammer or a nail before, it's like, what do I do here? Do I tap it?
Sure.
Do what?
Yeah.
So it's seeing an expert in their craft do what they do. But to him, he's like when I was talking to Eli, he goes, that's why I've done 9 figures.
Right.
He goes, so he was, like we were talking about your scripts and memorizing them. And for those of you that do my 2-day, he's like, I'll give you some behind the scenes. He's like, well, send me over your script of your 2-day. I'm like, I don't have a script.
Right.
He's like, you don't have a script. I said, no. He goes, well, send me over the outline. I go, I don't have an outline. I said, I have my slides.
I just go. Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, it's pretty important to have an outline. I said, so when you're doing stuff, everything's memorized? He said, every word is memorized.
Wow.
He goes, goes, the Tony Robbins, he goes, when Tony does his thing, everything that Tony Robbins does is memorized. I was like, really? He's like, without even question.
Yeah. They're not up there freewheeling.
No, yeah. He said, listen, when I did my interview to get on Tony's team, they gave me a 27-page thing. And they said, come back in 2 weeks and do not miss one word, one pause, one tone to see if you're even in the running. And it was like 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I need to. He goes, listen, everybody has a script. He goes, but it should not be. He goes, do you want to make 9 figures? That's the difference.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that. So again, for people that, in the 2-day that tell me, or people that tell me I don't do scripts, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, these are like white belts throwing kicks like crazy.
Right. I don't want it to sound canned. It sounds canned. Well, that's on you if you can't take a script and not make it sound canned, right?
I'll tell you what, I am learning. I mean, I just scripted out some of parts of my 2-day. It's called the transition. He's like, put this in, because I've got it recorded.
Yeah.
So he's like, just run this through ChatGPT. It'll create a script. It'll create an outline. Send it to me. So I create the script. I create the outline based on the recording. And even when I'm reading this, for me, and I think I'm pretty polished and pretty good, I'm cringing at some of the things that I'm saying that I didn't know I'm like, gosh, did I say that? And I'm repeating myself a couple times. And I'm just like, oh, I'm almost embarrassed to send it to him. So I had to clean it up.
He knew you stacked the deck.
Dude, I tell you what, it's a little humbling, right? But I want to get better. And just, this is the guy who's coming to Mach 5. I mean, and he'll be there hanging out. I mean, this is the guy.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Mach 5 for a minute. Incidentally, since you jumped on, ticket sales are going well. We're getting the room filled up. People are getting excited about it. Got a couple more yesterday and encouraged a couple people to sign up. So that was cool. And as it is with anything, people do it last minute, right? Like, oh, I guess I'll go. But guys, if you're doing it last minute, it's going to cost you more money, not just for the ticket, but for the flight. The times where I've kicked the ball down the road and not scheduled a flight, I'm like, shit, now that's $700 versus $350,
yeah, thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I didn't bill you for all my meals.
You can pre-order those too, by the way. I agree. People definitely listen. If people are indecisive about their future because they think they have a thing going on, or they have something, or they can't take 2 days away, 2 days.
Right.
The second and the third, right? The VIP Elite sold out, right? So that's not even an option on Saturday anymore.
Yeah.
VIP is about to be sold out, which VIP, we cover your meals, right? We cover your lunches and the first dinner. We have casino night, right? That all donations are going to go to my son, Jet's scholarship foundation, Live Like Jet. One of my buddies is donating 6 nights in Belize. That's going to get auctioned off, and people are starting to. The coaches that are all the speakers coming, we're going to get them to donate something for charity. So it's obviously for a good cause. But if someone tells me I can't take 2 days off of my week, Steve, to come down and learn how to exponentially explode my business, they need to take 2 days off to come down. Now, I have a well, never mind. I won't say it. I was going to say maybe we could do a raffle or something, or we could do something to help somebody. If somebody's financially hurting and they need some help, I would say reach out to Bob and see what Bob could do, because I've given away a couple of
I've said that
things, to help some people, right? This is all about helping people. And this isn't a pitch fest. We're not going to be selling.
No,
this is just educating at this event.
Speaking of getting people in the room, the guy that just joined us, Bubba Hogan, I've seen him take money out of his own wallet and literally pay for somebody to come to an event because he's thought it was that important. Bubba, how you doing? Good morning, buddy.
I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
Good. Where you at? In Florida?
I'm in Orlando. I got a flight coming out here later this afternoon. Just wrapped up a couple of great days down here at the John Maxwell event.
Nice.
Any good learnings?
Oh, yeah. It was real good. Jesse Cole was amazing. The Savannah Bananas, owner of that.
Oh, yeah.
If you've never heard him speak, you're missing out. You need to watch him sometime, just doing a presentation keynote. He was great.
That's cool. That's awesome. So did you get everybody there signed up for a Mach 5?
We got a few.
Good. Well, cool. That's good. Bubba, here you are in an event, right? Talk for a minute about why you view it as important as you do to get to events and to get around and to be at different things and get exposed to different speakers and groups.
Well, I'd say you don't know what you don't know. Not only going to the events and hearing the speakers to pick up the gold nugget. It's not so much about how many notes you take; it's what you're going to do with the notes when you get back. If you're going to implement them, a notebook full of notes is no good if you're not using them.
Mm-hmm.
A notebook's never earned anybody any money. It's what you do with that notes that you took at the event, but also just the connections that you make.
Right.
I've made a couple of them here even this week that are going to turn out to be well.
Well, that's good.
And it's funny, Bubba, something I was thinking about that you were just saying, and this is something that I've learned, is words written on a paper are just words. Oh, wow, look at the 4-packs here. Words written on paper are just words. It's the spaces between the words that actually define what that word means and the actions that you take. So it's like if just a bunch of letters are on a piece of paper, that doesn't mean anything. You saying a bunch of words doesn't mean anything. It's the pauses and the spaces between the letters and between the words, kind of like what you're doing. My point is what you are doing right now when no one's watching between the days is what makes all the difference in your success. And that's what people don't see. They go, well, look at Bubba, look at Richard. Like they're successful. They're hanging out with Steve. They're doing all these things. Bob's doing all this. It's what you guys do when no one's looking.
Yeah.
That makes you guys who you are, in my opinion.
It's not the big things either. And, it's the little stuff, right? I've talked a lot about consistency lately, and, this is day 245 of coming down here, firing this thing up, put another quarter in it and rock and roll for one of my lives. And it hasn't always been, you haven't felt like doing it every single day. Right. But we do it, we get it done. And we just model that consistency. And it's the little things you do when no one's looking, right? It's not built overnight. So, hey, Richard, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Thanks. We're doing well. Thanks for jumping in with us. I met you at an event. And so, and here we are 5 years later or so, having an event together, part of the same coaching group. And so what a classic example of you never know what can happen when you put yourself out there, right?
Good point.
Most definitely. Yeah. We think back to just a casual meeting and who knew we'd be doing what we're doing and, going to be working in the same room.
Yeah.
To help.
Yeah. I remember I came down the next morning for breakfast. I'm like, well, that guy's sitting by himself. I don't know anybody. So I look at him, he's like, we had breakfast together and been friends ever since. And so it's just been, and I'm like, wow, here's a guy that has a general contracting business in North Carolina. What can I learn from him? right?
And,
That's when the
and,
light bulbs had to come on.
and we did regular role plays. I mean, that was
Yeah.
something paramount to what we did growing our businesses and our opportunities. So, we connected, obviously, business standpoint and personalities, and we had a long-standing relationship where we would do what was it, like 9 o'clock on Wednesday every single.
Yeah, just working on our game.
Yep.
Working on our game. And guys, we didn't come to this at age 25. Okay. Richard and I are, a little longer in the tooth, as my dad says, than most. So, but we're still working on it. We're still getting better. Mark Bunker is on this call. Mark is, a little older than me, still getting better, still working on his game all the time, and still holds coming to events and doing personal and business development at a high level, to the point where they spend a fair amount of money to do it. Bubba or Richard, one of you guys jump in. What would you say to somebody that might be on the fence, thinking about coming to Houston, spending a few bucks, clicking buy on that plane ticket and on the actual event ticket? And what would you say that, would kick them over the edge or feel better about doing it?
I'm going to jump in real quick and just say it can be a life-changing event. It can be something like what you mentioned earlier, where we just happen to have casually met. You're going to get in a room with people that are going to challenge you. You're going to learn stuff. You're going to your head's going to explode from all the things that you're going to learn. You're going to be so pumped when you leave. It's mind-boggling. If you don't do it, it's your own fault.
Yeah, exactly. What's going to cost you to go versus what's cost you to not go?
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Bubba, how about you?
Well, I'm going to say, like I always do, not what's this going to cost me, but what could I possibly gain from this?
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and say this right now. If you're willing to buy the plane ticket and the hotel, give me a call. First 5 people, I'm going to take care of your seat.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. If you hung around for 27 minutes and 15 seconds on this call today, and you just heard that, Bubba, does everybody have your contact info? They can find you on Facebook, right? Guys, if you're on the edge and it's a financial, hey, if you can afford the ticket, don't take someone else's. But if you legit have a constraint, Bubba just threw down the gauntlet. So there are no excuses for you not to get there.
Outstanding.
Big play, Bubba.
Something. Yeah, thank you, Bubba. Something to think about. 2 things I was thinking. Number one, where did we all meet?
Yeah, at an event.
Like our paths would have never crossed the way it did if it wasn't for an event. Number one, like we all met at an event. Number one, and number two, 96% of all entrepreneurs go out of business in the first 10 years.
Yeah.
And the longer you're in business, the better chances you have of going out of business. So you've got to ask yourself, is what you're doing right now, like let's say you don't have the money or you don't have the time, is it going to get better or worse on its own without doing something different? If you keep doing what you're doing, is it going to get better or worse? I think we know the answer.
Yeah.
So you have to do something different to get you got to put a different input in to get a different result.
Right.
And maybe coming to this event, being around different people, some very successful people and some people that are still trying to figure it out.
Yep.
But what if you walk out of there rejuvenated, excited? Because here's my thoughts. You come to Mach 5, you're going to learn a bunch of stuff. You take Q4 to strategize it so that in 2026 January, you come out swinging with a plan. And so this is we're going into winter, right? We all know winter slows down for many people, except Bubba, because Bubba does a Christmas light business and he's smart enough to do that.
Right.
But think about it. Like, you're going to have a plan. Isn't it nice to actually walk out of somewhere with a strategy and a plan, as opposed to saying, I guess I'm just going to keep doing what I did last year and hope for a different result? Isn't that the definition of insanity?
Yeah.
If you haven't figured out, and the reason I say this is, I won't mention any names, but we did the ground school 2 weeks ago. And there were several people there that had businesses that had been in 20, 30 years, right? That 20, 30 years in business. So you would think they've probably seen a lot of what they learned.
Yeah.
And Errol, who's going to be speaking at the event, and Pete, my old business partner, my best friend, you know, he has a VA company. He's going to be speaking there also, but they spoke at Ground School. And we showed people how to put processes and how to put a process in place for their business, like how to actually create their own process. Like they drew it out. We had big white sheets of paper and they actually wrote out their process. There's probably a couple people on the call that were there. And it was like the first time they'd ever done it because we were going around asking them questions like, well, why is this? Why that? And some of the people were like kind of blown away. And I said, how long have you been in business for? One guy was like 26 years. And I said, this took you an hour. It took you an hour to do, and you've gone 26 years and you've never done this. So my question is how much money have you lost because you didn't take an hour out of your day to work on your business? How much frustration, headache, loss of clients, pissed off employees because you didn't take an hour a day to do what you're supposed to do, which is work on your business. And it was just evident because I didn't do it. They did it. It was their process. And they were just like, wow, like, holy shit. They were like millions. There's probably been millions of dollars lost.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much more are you going to lose if you don't fix it? And they were just like, I'm like, this took you 1 freaking hour. Like, it just blew my mind to tell them that. And they were just like, wow, I never thought about it that way. So that's my point about Mach 5. It's going to be 2 days out of your life. We don't even remember what we did 90 days ago.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, people that come, this will be the memory marker that they can tie back to changing their lives because it changed their business. That I guarantee.
Hey, Steve, while you were talking and I wasn't listening, no, just kidding.
Ready to talk again.
I was thinking about what I wanted to say. One of the things you talk about with the En route program is that when someone buys into the coaching program, it's not just for them, it's for their whole team. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do something today that a little bit different than Bubba's. Okay. Bubba's offer, and be a little bit creative with this because I think it's very important. And I brought a member of my team to an event a couple of times. It was life-changing for him. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to match Bubba's offer. Okay. However, it's for someone that has a ticket already, somebody that invested, that views this as important, but was on the fence about bringing someone from their team. Okay. So guys, if you DM me today, you've already bought a ticket and you'd like to bring someone from your company, from your team, or maybe it's a spouse that would like to come, but you were like, I can't quite swing it. Shoot me a little blurb on a DM on Facebook or whatever. You got my number. And I'll match up to, I'll provide up to 5 tickets. So this, guys, this is us digging into our own pocket to get people in the room. Okay. And Bubba and I and Richard don't own the company, just so you know. Okay. That we view it as that important. So if you've got somebody on your team that really should be there, maybe it's your key guy in the field, maybe it's your salesperson, maybe it's somebody that just needs to learn how to communicate better. Right. Or maybe it's the spouse that you're not getting that buy-in from, hey, this is really important. Your husband, your wife, and they're not tracking with you on it. Just come to the event. It's not going to cost a nickel. So there you go, Rector. We'll do that. So guys, there's been 10 tickets thrown on the table here today.
And Bob, I think that's awesome that you guys are doing that. And yes, I will take your money. But you know what? At some point, and you've heard me say this before, just tell me you don't want it. Just tell me you don't want to grow your business. That's what I want to hear you say.
Yep.
Like, let's just call it what it is. Like, everybody has a reason. That you're always going to have a reason. There's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be a reason why it doesn't work. Just tell me, Steve, it's just not important to me to grow my business, to help my employees, to help my future.
Yeah.
And don't bitch on here about problems. It's not the economy. It's not your competition. The problem many times is you. You are the problem because you are not willing to do what it takes. And when these guys are sitting here giving this to you, at some point you have to ask yourself, are you the right person to grow your business, or are you the reason the business is not growing? And that's just something you've got to really, really think about, because you're always going to be busy in life. There's always going to be reasons, right? Oh, airfare went up $5. I can't go now, right? Hotels,
Yeah.
you know, but at some point when, you know, you hear that thing about, you know, why didn't you save me? I gave you this, I brought you this, I brought you that. I did everything I could to save you, and you chose not to. So I remember I did a thing with Jocko Willink's team, the Navy SEAL. And he said, next time you say that it's not the right time or you're not doing it, like if your kid says, could you, you know, come play with me or go do something with me, just tell your kid, no, you know what? You're not that important to me right now. You're not a priority. What I'm doing right now is more important. And I was like, wow. He goes, well, that's what you're saying. He goes, you're trying to soften it up by saying you're busy. It's not the right time. But he goes, just say what it is. Be honest.
Right.
And so this is one of those moments in your life. Listen, I guarantee you the next event that we do, there will be a much higher pricing. There will be a lot different structures. This one is just to give back to the community. That's all we're doing. I mean, these speakers that are coming are all personal friends of mine that are coming because of what I want to build. And they're saying, Steve, because you're doing this, I'm in. So you've got some big heavy hitters that are coming to this event they want to hang out. I mean, they're going to be there for the term, just to hang out, to be a part of what I'm building and what we are all building, I should say. My marketing agency, everybody that is pushing for this. The only thing you have to do is nod your head and say, it's time.
Let's get in the
And
room.
it's time for me to be better for myself and for my team and for my family.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Hey, Bubba, I put a message up there. Check your DMs. How many do you have?
I can't tell. I'm on my cell phone here. I'll sit there and close this out if I go looking for them.
Caveman. All right. Check it out.
I got a few notices up the top here, so I'm gonna check them when we get off the call.
I've got one already. And guys, just so you know, the offer on the table today, first 5 people to DM Bubba that they have a financial constraint and need a ticket. I think that was your condition, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like, hey, you know, I want a free ticket, right? If you have a financial constraint and you need a ticket and that's preventing you from going, get on with Bubba. If you have a team member that you'd like to bring, spouse, family member, key guy, key person, key office help, whatever, anything, DM me and we'll figure out a way to get them there. All right.
If you have little kids that need to be watched, call Richard. He's a great babysitter.
He's really good.
He's grandpa. He can run around with the kids while the show goes on.
Richard takes care of the crumb snatchers. We got a room for that. Man,
Bad grandpa.
We're hard on Richard. We love you, man.
It'd be like bad grandpa.
You don't pick on me, you don't care. I guess
That's right. Well, Richard, thanks for. I know you. Unless you're really fast, I know you delayed your 4-mile run this morning so you could get on with us. So I appreciate that. It's good to see you.
I'll be
For me, it's good to be back in the swing. Had a week off last week. And Steve, thank you for taking a few minutes. I know you are off this week and still juggling some work stuff. And Bubba, I know you're traveling and all that. So I appreciate all you guys taking the time. I sent a couple of you other guys that are on this call texts during the call to join us. So keep your eye on your texts when you're on here, because sometimes I'll shoot a link across your bio, and if you miss it, you miss it. But you guys, a couple of you guys missed it, and that's okay. We'll get you on another time. But if you got a financial constraint and get in the Mach 5, let's get out to Bubba and I. We're going to take care of you guys. Steve, I appreciate you leading from the front and leading the way and playing big so that we can all play bigger. And it's just cool stuff. So, guys, have anything else you want to leave people with before we wrap it up?
No, I think that, and we've got a lot of cool stuff coming. We've been texting in the DSA that we're going to be doing as far as really diving deeper into helping people more. And listen, if you're not doing something better to help yourself, to help your life, to help your family, really need to reassess maybe your life and really think about what do you need to do to be better, because I think everybody really wants to have that better life. They have the opportunity in front of them and they're not making decisions. And so you just got to really ask yourself, is what you're doing going to get you the life that you want? Because if it's not, you need to make some decisions, because it's not going to get any easier. It gets harder the bigger your business is, or you fail. I mean, those are your options, but you have to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Danielle asked, when's everybody flying in and out? Wednesday to Sunday? Or I think I'm coming down. I'll be down there like Monday.
Yeah, you guys are coming down early because we got some free warm-up stuff. Yeah.
Work us like dogs for a couple of days.
That's right. Don't talk, work.
Yeah. But I believe flying back Sunday, Danielle. Are you considering coming? Yes, this is my brother brother David's girlfriend Danielle. So he's claiming that he's not coming because all his friends are in the Dallas area, DFW area. But I said you could just drive up after.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, come on.
Oh wait, no,
Come
it
on,
doesn't.
yeah.
That makes no sense. I'm sorry, I had my words mixed up.
Yeah.
And I
I'll
got
just
to smoke cigars with Danielle. So yeah.
yeah, I'll just tell him and my dad that there might be a bar fight later on night 2 or 3, and they'll definitely get there. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you all. It's been fun. We ran a little bit long today, but I had the opportunity to get these 3 guys in the room with me, so that was fun. It was kind of unplanned, and so was putting a few tickets on the table. So, guys, snatch them up. We'll catch you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Richard, Bubba, Steve, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Say, guys.
Go catch some fish. All right.
Yes,
see ya.
sir.
Bye.